welcome to Chats con Sabor. And this is our first video trial.
Hi, everyone.
We're missing Linda. She's not feeling well today. So this is just Yvette and I.
Just us two having cool conversations as always. Welcome back to season 2. We are excited to be here.
Y'all get to see us.
I know. And doing video. This is weird for us. So we're like talking here, but I have my screen open over here so I can see us over here. It's a little wild and a little quirky. So bear with us because this is kind of going to be like season 1 where we were trying different things out, right? Like technical stuff and all of that. So just bear with us. Know that we're new to this still.
Yes.
Even though a lot of you have let us know that you have super enjoyed season 1. We are very new to the podcast community. So we're doing this, as we go. Today's topic, because it's just Joanna and I, today's topic, we are going to be talking about whether or not we've done or what kind of crazy things we've done to an ex after a breakup. Because we all know some girls can get crazy.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some stuff on the internet, boy.
Oh, my God. Why don't you?
You want to start with me?
You
Really?
kick us off, yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you a story, not so much of me. We're going to talk about my little mini grandmother, my little spicy Puerto Rican grandmother.
Puerto Rican?
She was 4'10", and she was completely obsessed. I mean, obsessed with my grandfather. So I remember her, mind you, I don't even know if she had a driver's license or not, but I know we were in a car, and she knew exactly where he was at. And I think at this time, they were still, banging here and there and all that stuff. But he was seeing somebody else. So he had this beautiful gold Cadillac. And he loved that thing. I mean, he spent hours on that bad boy. So anyways, my grandmom gets all of us together and throws us in a car. She starts driving into town. She spots his car and she stops and she pulls in. Again, don't know if she had a driver's license, but her little ass got out of the car and she started slitting tires. And I mean, his car, oh my God, his car. Not only did she freaking go ape on his tires, and I remember this as a child, so you know. She takes a knife and just scratches the whole side of his car. I was like,
goodness.
And it was me and my cousin and her brother.
Oh my God.
Look,
she's feisty.
I've done some revenge stuff, but I've never destroyed anyone's private property. If anything, I have called girlfriends. I have called and put them on blast. Stuff like that. But I've never taken it to that extreme. How about you?
Oh my God. I'm like sitting here thinking like, what kind of a wild, crazy shit have I done? Okay, I'll tell you a story. This is crazy because now we're on video. So I'm like, I can't even hide my facial expressions
you can't
anymore.
be embarrassed or anything.
Oh boy. And I am a little hot. And I think we talked about this. I'm 50, so I get my little hot flashes, and this give me one. So when I was younger, I dated a guy, and he was kind of, like a bad boy. And I remember he kind of broke my heart a little bit because he was dating me. And at the time I had my son. He's not the father of my son. But my son was a baby. And he found out that he was seeing this girl that he was working with at the fucking Jiffy Lube.
Damn Jiffy Lube.
I know, damn Jiffy Lube. He was seeing her and would take my car because he didn't have a car. So I used to go and drop him off at work. If anybody knows, like the Southern California area. We lived in LA. I lived with my aunt in East LA, and he worked in Thousand Oaks. So I used to drive him all the way to freaking Ventura County, basically out in Thousand Oaks, and then come all the way back home, drop him off at work, come all the way back home, do my day, and then go all the way back to pick his ass up.
Oh, hell no.
And then at one point he started taking my car because he's like, it's easier if I take your car. And I never used to let anybody drive my fucking car. Side note, squirrel. I made it a point to buy a stick shift, my first car, so that nobody could drive my car or ask me to drive my car. So yeah, that's how my Virgo brain worked even back then. So found out about this girl, and he started taking my car to work. And then one day I told him no, that he couldn't take my car because I had to run errands, which was a lie. But I had a feeling, sorry, even though I'm really good with feelings, but I did have a feeling. I heard him on the phone. Back then we didn't have cell phones, so we're old, right? So landlines. So I heard him on the phone. Somebody had called. I heard him on the phone, and he was, kind of talking a little sweet to the person. And then he tells me that it was some guy from work, right? And he needs a ride and this and that. And I was just like, nah, I'll take you. And he was like, no, well, it's okay. You know what? And I'm like, no, I'll take you. And then he was like, no, never mind. He goes, we don't have to pick him up after all. Okay. So apparently he was going to pick up this girl, driver, whatever. Anyway. So I take him to work that day, and I go drop him off. And usually he would make out with me in the car before he got off the car and went to work. This time he just gave me a kiss on the cheek, and he was like, okay, and then left. I went back home and then back to pick him up after work. And then she called that night. She called and I answered the phone, and then, no, I'm sorry. He answered, and then he told her, I'll call you back or something like that, because I was there, and I was always there at his place. And then I called her back. I star 69 or star 67, whatever it was.
Star 69.
It was star 69 when you it returns the phone call. I don't know. It was way back when. But so I did that, and she answered the phone, and then she told me all about, how they had been dating for like a month at that point. And I'm like, I said, do you not see me when I drop him off at work? And she was like, yeah, he said you were his sister.
Hell no.
Okay. And I'm like, all right. And I've never been the type to blame the girls unless they're malicious and they know that I'm with somebody or whatever, and then they try to come at my man, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I've never been the type to blame the girl unless something like that happens. And yeah, it was pretty funny. But so we broke up, obviously. We broke up. But when I heard that they broke up too, and then he wasn't working anymore or whatever, I literally, in the middle of the night, this is the crazy part, okay? And you'll find out, Yvette says really long, dragged out stories. But I had to give you the background of why it made me crazy, right?
She's a good storyteller.
So this one night, it's late at night. I'm with my son, and I'm like pissed at him and whatever. And I take my son from my aunt's house. We're asleep, take my son, put him in the car. Middle of the night, and I'm like, I know he's there with somebody at his house, right? He's there with somebody, or at least I thought he was. Turned out he wasn't, but I thought he was there with somebody. So I'm at the back door. They had he was in the back room, and it had sliding doors. So I'm like banging on the sliding door, like saying, open up, because I could hear them having sex. I could hear people having sex. I thought it was him. Turned out it was his friend and some girl. And then, and because his friend came to the thing, he was like, he's not here. And I was like, yes, he is. I know he's home, whatever. So he told me he's in the shower, and I did hear the shower. I heard the shower. So the doors are here, shower windows over here. Crazy vet. Literally, I was Spider Woman. So then I decided there was what are they called? A drain pipe. And I literally scaled the wall with the drain pipe to get up to the window to look to see if there was somebody with him in the shower. I haven't said that story in a long time, and now I'm sharing it with the whole fucking world. Oh my God. Anyway, so I didn't really do anything crazy to him, but that was crazy in my book. Like, I feel like that's a little.
I have never injured anyone, but I have done detective work. And let me tell you.
To me, that was detective work. I didn't injure anybody. He just looked up he was like, and he smiled because I'm up there like that.
He's like, gotcha, sucker.
Well, he just smiled and he was like, he kind of shook his head like this, like, probably thinking to himself, she still wants me or something. Mm-hmm. And he just smiled at
me.
Like
what you see?
Yeah. Of course I did. But because it was mine before. So anyway, yeah, it was pretty funny. He just smiled at me and he was just like, he goes, get down. He goes, you're going to fall and hurt yourself. And I was like, fine. And I think I jumped. I don't even know how I got down, but anyway, that wasn't important. But yeah, so I think that counts as detective work. I think that's detective work because I didn't hurt him. I didn't hurt him. I have a story about Yvonne. Go ahead. Your turn.
Uh-oh. No, well, mine are pretty, like, I'm pretty spot on. Once I get an intuition and I start digging, I usually find, like, my gut is never wrong.
Neither is mine.
And I was married for 15 years and it's never wrong for 15 years. And
always right.
I used to break into phones. I used to figure out stuff that no normal human being would ever be able to do. And now, like, the whole world can do it.
Well, because it's easy now. Listen, we actually did detective work back then.
I know.
Now you have everything at your fingertips and it's so easy to just look shit up on the computer or on your phone or whatever. And you can, like, literally Facebook stalk people and Instagram stalk people.
Oh, yeah. Now you can just search and boom, you can see if they have a family or whatever. I mean, I used to break into his private emails, his work phone. I remember when we started dating, he had a flip phone.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, hit a button, boop, listen to the voicemails. And I would go in and I'd be like, you have something to tell me? Nah. And then the dumbass.
No, babe, I love you.
Hold on. Let's get on the subject here. Let's press pause on that. To the ladies out there that decide to screw around with married men.
Yes.
What makes y'all feel, honest question, entitled to demand and ask for things and try to make the other person, without knowing the full story,
right,
be an asshole? And you don't even know who that person is.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that a friend of mine, and hopefully one day she'll hear this, she was supposed to be my friend.
Yeah.
A neighbor. And we were friends for a while and a long time. And her kid played with my kid and all that stuff. Well, she decided to invade my privacy.
Oh.
With my husband.
Oh, boy.
So then this was when Facebook first came out. So she started posting stuff on Facebook about how naive the wife was and all this stuff. In the meanwhile, I'm already doing detective work in the background.
Yeah.
Because I am a very pattern-driven person. Mm-hmm. So when you change your patterns, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Red.
She kind of stopped coming to the house and wasn't texting me as much. And I was like, I got something for you. Well, come to find out that he was having an affair with somebody else.
Besides her.
Andele. Mind you, married.
And she thought she was over on you. She got over on you.
Yeah. So the Lord. Slick woman that I am, I was like, hey girl, let's have a couple drinks. So my slick ass already knew what was happening.
Yeah.
On both ends.
Yeah.
But I wanted a confirmation online. Lo and behold, man, I go over there, I start drinking, and we're painting our master bedroom. So you can see him working in the master bedroom. And we're sitting on her porch, and I'm sitting there steady drinking. I said, girl, let me tell you. She's like, whoa, what's happening? I went, girl, he's having an affair. He's having an affair, and I know who it is. Ooh. I spilled the name. I knew where that person worked, so on and so forth. You know, the bitch has the audacity to reach out to that person.
No way.
Yeah.
Like she was the one that was hurt or whatever, or being Mr.
Why are you with my man?
Wow.
In the meantime, he's married, has a family.
Oh my God.
And his wife is giving you the information.
Wow.
So it could just blow up in your face, which it did.
What a dumbass. Oh man. All right. That's actually kudos to you for that. Like, and it's funny because Yvonne has told me before, like she's made comments before that she's like, I don't understand how you can be so calm, how you can just like keep this information. And because I'm the type of person that I take that information and I put it in my back pocket, I save it for later.
Yep.
I'm the type of person I keep receipts and I fucking hold on to my ammunition until I annihilate you. And that's just the way I am. But I'm also very open, like, you know, to receiving the person that you are. But because of that, because I'm so open, because I don't I don't put a lot of boundaries up at first, which is actually probably, I'm working on it. But
we all are.
Yeah. But because I don't do that, I feel like people get very comfortable, or men get very comfortable in showing their true colors around me right away.
They let their guards down.
Yeah, because I have my guard down, you know, and I'm just like, and I'm presenting myself to you in like who I am, who I truly am. And I'm giving you the opportunity and allowing you to show me who you are. So she tells me that all the time. She's like, I don't understand how how you can hold on to information, because she'll pop off. She's like very, very quick. When something happens, she's just like, tell me this, tell me that, explain this, explain it. And she like lays all her cards on the table, and I'm like, nah, you gotta like hang on to it for a little bit, and then let them fuck up a little more, and then you pow.
Then that's when you pop off. I let her kick me in the chin a couple times, and I was like, when this pops off,
yep, you're the one that's gonna hurt big time, not me, because I've already gone over it. So
she continued putting. Still to this day, I can't listen to an Alicia Keys song, but putting songs on. He wasn't even on Facebook, by the way.
It was for your benefit, probably.
It was for my benefit because she was friends with me. And so what got me was when she put on her Facebook about me being naive and blah, 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 blah. And you know what popped that off? A picture of the family when we took a vacation to Puerto Rico and we went to see my dad. And we took a family picture. And I set her off. And I posted it on Facebook on purpose. You can say what you want, you can do what you want, but guess where he's at? Right here, right?
Still.
Okay,
yeah.
still. So then she starts with now, the wrong thing you can do with someone like me is threaten. And there was a threat in the little comments and all that. And then a family member, which set me more off, knew about the situation. So she made a comment.
Yeah.
And that's when I started seething.
Wow.
So he walks through the door and I said, before this woman comes anywhere near me, you better tell me what's going to pop off. What is happening? Mm-hmm. So he says to me, what are you talking about? I was like, what am I so naive about? Mm-hmm. And then I just start all her little comments. I started saying, so finally he confessed. And I tried, mind you, I was in school too. I was in nursing school. So for months and months, I had to drop out because I just couldn't do it. Because then I was on pins and needles all the time.
Yeah.
But girl, I drove with the bat in my car because I was going to rail into this woman. I was going to beat the living piss out of her.
And what happened to her? Did she fucking move away, or what did she do?
I think my prayers, because I honestly think God knew that I was going to hurt this woman.
Yeah.
Kept her out of my path.
Good,
she had moved and everything. She didn't move far, but she had moved and everything. Man. So several months passed and I didn't see her. So I took the bat out of my car and I was like, I don't need this right now.
Yeah.
When I'm in a good place, this is what's going to happen. So lo and behold, this broad's child gets signed to my child's baseball team. And guess who's coaching? My ex-husband.
Oh my God. Oh, boy.
She literally doesn't know where to put her face or what to do. And I thought about it and I prayed on it and I thought about it and I prayed on it and I thought about it and I prayed on it. Finally, one day, it was freezing outside. And the Lord said to me, go get some hot chocolate. And I was like, I'm going to get hot chocolate, all right. I'm going to spit it all over her face, bro. And I was like, I took it back a notch. And I went and I got her my hot chocolate. And I gave her hers. She's like, oh, thank you. Whatever. Long story short. Anyways, so I am a widow. My husband ended up passing away. You know, this broad fucking sends me a Facebook message. And she tells me, first I want to ask if you would forgive me. I said, girl, you were done forgiving like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Can I go to his funeral? Fuck no. You can't go to his funeral.
Wow. So you had a lot of balls.
Guess who had the last laugh?
Uh-huh.
This girl.
Yep. Oh, man. That is crazy. The story about Yvonne that I wanted to share. Yeah. And it's a short one because I don't remember all the details. No, I don't remember all the details of it. That's why.
I wish she was here. I knew she has many stories.
Oh, she remembers like very clearly, but I was in the car. I just don't remember because this is when we were very young and I was probably like drinking. So I don't know.
Anything involves alcohol.
Everything. So her son's father, her baby daddy back then, was messing around with somebody and she had found out, or I don't even know if they were broken up. Again, I don't know remember the details, but she's angry at him for whatever reason. And back where we grew up in El Paso, Texas, we used to have like street parties, basically. You hear about house parties, but we used to literally party on the street, like in cul-de-sacs, dead ends, whatever. There's a lot of streets like that over there, or there were. And so she's driving. We're in her car. We're going up to this party and then, people are on the street and on the sidewalks. So there's her ex, who's not her ex, but her son's father. And then his friends, a couple of his friends or whatever. So she freaking floors it. Like she wants to go and run his ass over.
Oh, I love Pocahontas.
She fucking hits one of his friends. She fucking hits one of his friends. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, so then we stopped and then he was like, you're fucking crazy. Anyway, I just remember that. But yeah, crazy story. Things you want to do to your ex, run his ass over.
Y'all need to think about whether you ever want to really date a Hispanic.
Yeah, we get a little wild. We get a little crazy.
Hey, we get in our feelings and our feelings are our feelings. And
they're valid, by the way.
Valid. I mean, you make somebody pop off, you make them pop off.
Yeah, it's not our fault. It's not our fault.
I always say, though, honestly, karma, when you do the dirt, karma is always going to come back and get you.
Yes, that's so very true. That's so very true. That's why I try my hardest to be a good person, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't be a good person. I mean, you can, but sometimes we react with our emotions and stuff. And it's just like, we just go head first. We're not thinking about anything other than we're going to fuck somebody in one way or another.
Yeah. We've all been there. That's for sure. It doesn't matter how. And man, I have patience.
That is so funny. So do I. I wait. I'm telling you, I wait. I wait like a freaking...
Like a cat, you're calculated.
Like, kind of, yeah, actually, I was going to say like a tiger in the freaking tall grass, when they're freaking ready to pounce on their prey. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm trying to remember any other crazy story. I mean, I've gotten into lots of fights. This is all when I was younger. Thinking about my ex-husband, though. Like, what did I do? Memories. Fuck. One time speaking of gut feelings, one time I had a gut feeling that he was cheating on me and my kids were very young. So I left them at home with my mom and then I took off to go. He was in the Marine Corps and they used to do what they call fruit stands where they put up the tents or whatever and they give out pass out information and try to recruit people or get people to come into the office or whatever. But
darn Marines.
I know, fucking Marines. But Yeah, so I tried getting into one of the places. It was like a water park or something, but I didn't want to pay for the water park because I wasn't going to stay there. But they wouldn't let me in, and so I was like, just literally like the fucking fence. I was like this, like, girl, I'm gonna fucking see something. I don't want to see something, but I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. I went home anyway. Turned out though, a couple of days later, turned out that he was talking to some girl, and I ended up calling her because I saw the number, and I went. I remember he was getting ready for work, and I had to go get something from his car. I went to the I went and I found a little post-it. I mean, Tonto, he didn't fucking hide it. Of course, back then we didn't have cell phones again, so it's written on a post-it on a fucking on a envelope or whatever. And I looked and I was like, I picked it up and I was like, well, who the fuck? And her name was Vanessa. So I'm looking, I'm like, who the fuck is Vanessa? How weird, I remember that, huh? But
doesn't forget shit.
so I go over there. I know, the one who does not forget anything. I go to the bathroom, and I'm looking at him through the mirror, and I'm like, who's Vanessa? And I think he was shaving. He's like,
I'd be hiding that razor.
he's like, I don't know. And then I said, And I said, so you didn't take her number? You didn't ask for her number? No, she's probably just some recruit. And I'm like, they used to give out like little blue cards where you filled out the information. Yeah. And I was like, why is it on a post-it and not on a blue card? He starts stumbling, whatever, and I was like, I said, so you didn't ask for her number? He's like, no, like, no, she was somebody who was trying to recruit or wanted information. All right, so it's going to be okay if I call her? He was like, yeah. Called my bluff. Don't ever call my bluff because I'm not bluffing. Fucking called her, and
don't trust a Latina.
I'm like, hi, can I speak to Vanessa? And then this girl answered, I guess her roommate or something, and she was like, who's calling? And I was like, and I said, a friend. And she was like, and she was like, Vanessa, some girl's on the phone for you, whatever. And I remember like it happened yesterday. Isn't that weird? And she gets on the phone, has a very nice voice. And again, I'm not the type to blame the other girl unless she maliciously, like your neighbor, actually comes at my man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. I said, Vanessa, I go, were you at the water park? I'm not going to name any names, but were you at the water park yesterday? And yes. And were you hanging out with a bunch of Marines? Yes. Did you give your number to somebody? She goes, yes. I said, who? And then, she said our last name. And I was like, I go, okay. I go, that's all I needed to know. I go, thank you. And I hung up. And then that's when she called back again. And she was like, and then he answered the phone. And I'm calm, mind you. He's like
freaking out.
Oh my God. Right. And so he picks up the phone and he's like, hey, I don't know what you're trying to do here, but you're wrecking a marriage and like playing the part. I was like, damn, give that man a Grammy. I mean, not a Grammy. What are they called? An Oscar. Give that man an Oscar, because what a performance. I was like, okay. I was like, wow. Anyway, and I'm calm. I'm just watching this all play out. Like, he's totally revealing everything to me, right? And then we argue a little bit, whatever. And then he gives me the phone and he's like about to take off for work. And then she calls back again. And she was like, and I answered this time because I had the phone in my hand. And she's like, Yvette? And I said, yes, because I told her my name, So I said, yes. And she was, it's Vanessa again. She goes, I just wanted to let you know, I wanted to call back and let you know that nothing happened. She's like, yes, I spent the whole day with him. Yes, he did kiss me, but that was it. Like, we didn't, nothing else happened. Like, it was just that. And I'm like, bitch, the fact that he spent the whole day with you, like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Why is he trying to like start this?
Don't downplay it.
Yeah, like that was enough. Yep. He didn't even have to kiss you. He didn't have to hold your hand. He didn't have to do anything else. The fact that he is married and is spending time. She said all of them had their wedding rings off. All of them. Now,
take them all down.
Well, I'm not the type of person to take everybody down because everybody's business is their own business. But I told my ex, I'm like, listen, now I know how you guys all work. Every one of you covering for each other. I said, so fuck you and fuck everybody else. Fuck all y'all. But anyway, yeah. So not a crazy story, but I mean, literally, I think the crazy part was that I left my kids with my mom and I drove, to the other side of fucking town. It's like 45 minutes away. The other side of fucking town to go stare at the fence, like, what am I gonna find?
But this brings me back to the question.
Yeah.
How do significant, let's just say husband, wives, whatever, how do y'all justify breaking up somebody's relationship or marriage?
Yeah.
Even by going by what one person is saying, it's not always factual, boo.
Exactly.
It's just a made up story.
Yeah.
And it's like they had asked my ex like why he did what he did. And he said it was about the game.
The chase.
It was the chase, and he said he was good at mind fucking people. So it was an adrenaline thing for him, you know. I mean, he
That's
lost
awful.
his beautiful family over it, but
yeah,
at the same time, it's like just like she thought she was entitled to reach out to this woman, and she was still married,
mm-hmm.
and he was married.
Yeah,
and he had a family that he painted out to everybody was a perfect family, while he was behind closed doors doing what he was doing. You know?
Let's talk about, because you just said something that kind of like brought up a little thing. Just because we, saw somebody over the weekend, that let's talk about open relationships or open marriages. What are your feelings on that?
I think that's bullshit.
Even if both parties are like husband and wife, or let's be open, and you do your thing, I do my thing. I can have a girlfriend, you can have a boyfriend, but we're still married and together.
Everyone's relationship is their relationship. I'm no one to judge, but it is something that I would never do. Yeah. It is not in my beliefs. When you're married, you're married. You're loyal to your partner, and that's just how I feel about that. There's exploring within the marriage, but there's no exploring outside of the marriage or bringing people in. That's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And it's not my partner's thing either. This is what rests in my heart. When you're with someone, you're with that person. Yeah. You've made a commitment to be with that person for the rest of your life. What you choose to do within that foundation and that marriage is on you guys.
I think it has to do with, we kind of talked about, like, sort of touched the subject when we had our friend Sarah here in one of our episodes from season 1. Because again, this is season 2. But yeah, so we kind of brought up or broached the subject a little, where we talked about opening the relationship up or the marriage. And so, like, on some level, you have to ask yourself, what's missing from our relationship that we're not getting enough of from each other, right?
That we have to bring someone else in.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is this one person that we know. And I know it's out there, like many people. we happen to just know because it's very open in our friend group or community of people that we hang out with. Her and her husband are very much like, they love each other. They're together. They're not looking to, divorce. They're nothing like that. They're going to spend their lives together. Like, they've made it very clear, like, they are together. They have children together. They do everything together, but then they also have these separate lives, basically, where he's allowed to have, girlfriends or sleep around, do whatever on his time. And then she's also allowed to do whatever she wants on her time too. And so for me, I think I'm kind of on the same page as you, as like, if I'm in a committed relationship, then, and we're opening ourselves up to like outside people, well, then how committed are we to each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of doesn't make sense to me. But also, you and I are older, so we are a little bit like more old school. And I feel like this whole progressive way of like looking at relationships and stuff. And honestly, sometimes, again, we kind of broached the subject a little bit when Sarah was with us, where she was like, I question the fact, like, are we supposed to be monogamous, And I can see where that question comes in about monogamy. And if you together, like our friend, she's not our friend, an acquaintance that we have, where they have communicated and it's an agreement, like, we don't do this, like she always wore her wedding ring. Always, always, always. Like no, everybody knew she was married. You know what I mean? Like nobody questioned whether she was married or not. And I mean, he never hardly ever came around. So I don't know if he always wore his or not, but I'm sure he did the same thing on his end. And it's like, if it's an open communication, so I'm on the fence about that piece of it. It's like, if you're both in agreement and the communication has already, and it's constant, communication, but the compromise, the agreement, you know what I'm going to do, I know what you're going to do, and we're just going to go do it.
Like my mama says, you never invite the devil into your home.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I will say though that before my ex and I got divorced, before we actually filed for divorce, we were separated for like 4 years, with the last 4 years of our marriage. But we were separated. Like, we weren't playing house. We were married in name only, like on paper. You know what I'm saying? But we still did things, family things, like with the kids and everything. But he and I didn't sleep together. We weren't like lovey-dovey with each other. We didn't make out anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were literally living our lives separated. Like separate, except that we lived under the same roof for 2 of the 4 years. And the kids, we didn't really tell them that we were like separated, but they kind of knew because we weren't sleeping in the same bedrooms. You know what I mean? So anyway, it just, for me, I think a lot of it has to do with communication. Like, as long as you're on the same page with all of that. If I actually knew that my husband was like out there with somebody else, I'd be like, wait a minute. And I know we talked about swinging. I feel like swinging is a little bit different, than actually having an open marriage, because they're literally doing their own thing, like away from each other, but then they come together at night or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they sleep in the same bed and they're like having a marriage. And for me, that's not a marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I said,
I don't know.
I don't judge. Whatever people decide to do with their relationship and their lives is on them. I just know how I feel in my heart and how I see things in my home with my relationship. And yeah, that would never happen.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen, you and I should not be together.
Yeah, then we need to talk, because obviously we're not getting what we need from one another. Yeah. Sure. Now I think I can kind of see where, like, the whole the idea of bringing somebody else, like having an escapade, like one time. Or like having a threesome. Yeah, I guess I should say that, right? Just having, because now you guys can see my face. I saw my Italian stallion on Saturday. I saw my Italian stallion on Saturday, and damn, yeah, he is fine. I'm sorry, but somebody,
like I said, you never invite the devil into your home.
Although I'm not the devil, okay? I just want to put that out there. I'm not the devil. I
didn't say you were. We know he is.
Yeah, but he's just so fucking fine. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. No, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, because my mind starts going. Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice. I said we were going to keep this. Ourselves. I know. Oh, we do miss Linda though. And I know you guys are going to love this.
You're going to adore Linda.
The way her facial expressions, the way she says things.
She's pure comedy.
She is pure comedy, but she's also, like we've said before, she's an old soul. So, she has a lot of wisdom, I feel like, for such a young age. She has been through a lot, and so she comes with a lot of wisdom, which you guys have heard her speak, on a lot of topics from season 1. So expect more of that.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. You'll not only get to see us, we'll get to see some of our friends and just learn some more stuff. Like, and again, these are genuine conversations that we have with each other all the time. We can be at bars, at homes. It doesn't matter. Like, these are true conversations that we have on a day to day.
It is. It is.
On a day-to-day.
On a day-to-day. Like, seriously. I mean, even if it's just via text message or whatever, like we're constantly talking about all kinds of different things. And we love that we get to bring this new way, I guess, new
way of communicating, therapy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. It's funny though, but I've had a lot of people, like a lot of our friends have said, oh my God, when I'm listening to you guys, I kind of feel like, oh my gosh, like almost like they're in therapy session, right? Because we talk about all kinds of different things. But we do bring our own perspectives, and we know that life isn't viewed only through our lenses, you know. It really is just our perspective, and we invite you guys again to make comments, leave us, you know, your opinions, your comments. Even if you think we suck, tell us, like
what we can do to better ourselves or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But again, this is for fun and just to communicate some stuff that you don't hear on a day-to-day from other podcasts or other people, you know. So if you need some advice, we're here for you too. Yvette gives great advice. You don't want me to give advice because I'll tell you to go tell somebody to go pound sand like real fast.
No, she gives good advice too. She's like, I'm bringing the shovel. Where are we going? Yeah.
You need someone to bring a shovel? Call me.
Call me. I'm
I
there.
got you. It's the sadness, the loyalty.
That's so funny. Okay, well, I have our words of wisdom for today. The beautiful thing about life is that you can always grow, change, and get better. You aren't defined by your past. So,
amen.
Even though I was a little crazy when I was younger, luckily all the stupid shit that I did was never recorded. So, there were no phones,
thank God,
or anything like that to record all the stupid shit that we did. So, you know, we did a lot of crazy stuff in our day, but we're not defined by that. So I feel like it does help to create who we are, you know, as adults, especially now getting later in life. But we're not defined by those actions, by those mistakes. And everybody does make mistakes. So if you have kids that are growing up right now and, you know, making their own mistakes, just remember that they are on their own path as well. So I feel like we learn. That's how we learn, right? As we go.
Give them wisdom and let them do what they need to do.
Yeah.
When they fall on their faces, just be there to help them pick them up.
Be there with the Band-Aids.
Yeah.
But
kiss the boobies.
Don't do it for them. I thought you said kiss the boobies. I was like, again?
The boobies.
Kiss the boo-boos and the boobies.
They're obsessed with boobies. They're obsessed with boobies.
I wish there was a way to post pictures.
Yeah, my God. The things we... Our friends are special, and you will see that. You're going to want to be a part of our group.
They're just, I guess, special. We're so special.
So special.
So very special. Alrighty, well, this has been super fun. Even though we didn't have our little Miss Linda with us, I think she'll enjoy watching this and listening to us. Watching and listening to us.
She'll have questions for
She will have questions, and she'll probably bring up some other stuff on her next one. But thank you for joining us on our first test run, our first real test run. The other one was behind the scenes. First real test run of season 2 on Chats con Sabor.
Adios.
Bye.